Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. If you're doing everything right, the affirmations, the vision boards, the books, the mindset work, and still something feels off, maybe it feels like there's a block or a wall that you just can't name. What if the reason that you're still stuck isn't your mind, but in your body? And what if the peace and clarity and power that you crave is right below your very nose, in the one place you never thought to look? We all want guidance, clarity, freedom, healing, and expansion, but we've been conditioned to disconnect from the very thing that holds the keys, our bodies. In fact, the body holds the key to everything that you seek: the love, the joy, the peace, the expansion, the health, and the wealth. But unfortunately, we were taught to escape it, override it, or even numb it. Certainly ignore it. But the body isn't the problem. It is the portal. And until you return to your body, you will keep repeating old patterns, chasing the wrong people, and wondering why nothing ever seems to stick, feeling like it's impossible to break those loops. But you don't need to be saved. You don't need to go to some home out there. That longing that you feel, that I just want to go home feeling, it's not a place, it's a state of being. It's your nervous system longing for connection with you, possibly even your soul desiring connection with the divine through the body. And that means the body is the way back home. And the truth be told, connection with yourself and with the body is the only thing that can create real healing. When you connect with your body, you connect with God, with truth, with the divine guidance that you have been seeking. And when you're disconnected, you're not just disconnected from yourself, you are disconnected from the truth, safety, and your creator. Home is where the heart is, and that actually is literal. Home is where the body lives, and therefore the source of what you are seeking. All of those things we search for that we struggle to find, the body actually holds the answers within you. We reconnect and tap into that guidance through awareness in your body, focusing on sensation and listening. That's where the divine speaks. I hate to break it to you, but nobody's coming to save you. Only you can save yourself. And I know that really sucks when you're alone and tired and exhausted, and it feels like everything's up to you. But the good news is you're not alone. And you feel less alone when you come home to yourself. The one you're truly seeking is that version of you that is unified with the divine within your body. Right now, you attract people who match your unhealed trauma. And that's why it doesn't feel good. That's why you never get your needs met. Healing happens only when you return to your body and reunite with God in the body. Healing comes through presence in the body, which leads to coherence and regulation, which means healing. This is how we shift into that parasympathetic state of the nervous system that is associated with healing, rest, digest, growth, and repair. The opposite is struggle. That sympathetic nervous state of the system is also associated with survival mode, ego, forcing, manipulating, trying to control, and a whole host of trauma symptoms. But the truth is, when we come home to ourselves, fear dissolves. We stop trying to control everything, stop trying to force and manipulate. We step out of that survival mode that is associated with defense, fear, and contraction, the very thing that cuts us off from the source of all that is, the one thing we are truly craving. This is how we step into our soft power. We start to live in alignment, and we only make choices that are in resonance with our body. We become clear and conscious of our intentions and why we do what we do. And the best news of all is you do get to do it your own way, but at the same time, you don't get to bypass what needs to be healed. There are going to be times where you don't feel like doing something, but it is the way through that will lead you to the other side. The body will be there with you all the way through. In fact, I venture to say that there's no being that loves you more on planet Earth than your body. He or she has been with you through thick and thin, tolerated the worst abuse and the highest levels of toxins, and every time comes back strong, trying to help you heal, loving you back into wholeness. If you can start to listen, you'll find that many answers will come through the body, and yet the mind struggles to find it. In fact, 80% of the information received by the brain comes from the body, which means the brain is often the last to know. And the best part, you are a channel. Channeling isn't just for special or gifted people. It is your birthright. We are meant to be a conduit for divine source energy. And of course, the body is the temple. The kingdom of heaven is within. So you're either receiving information from the divine through your body or from the divine from above. The mind is not meant to lead. If your mind is doing 99% of the work, we are off track. We need to quiet the mind and turn the mind into a receiver instead of a driver. What you need and desire lives inside of you. How to access what you need and desire lives inside of you. We can't receive all of that information if we're so full of unhealed wounds. It's like static that clouds our signal. You're meant to be a conduit for divine intelligence and that co-creative energy that brings forth the life in all that is. The problem is when we externalize our solutions, we get pulled outside of ourselves. We're looking outside of us for the evidence of whether or not things have changed. And that's not how it works. That means we're disconnected from ourselves. And that feels like separation from our creator, the greatest pain of all. And yes, it's normal to have difficult emotions. It's normal to grieve the loss of what we thought was once true, the identity of who we thought we were. And that was really just a walking trauma response anyways. And also to grieve the acceptance of the relationships that we deserved, but never received or never experienced. It's normal to grieve the loss of the false matrix and the way we thought that the world worked. Let's allow ourselves to go through the denial, the anger, the bargaining, the depression, and move into acceptance. But in order to do that, we have to feel all of that. These are the natural stages of grief, and we can't heal without them. We must feel it to heal it, but without fear. And it doesn't have to be painful. You don't have to suffer through this. Yes, there's big emotions, but they don't have to come with overwhelmingly, seemingly dominating, never-ending stories. Pain plus resistance equals suffering. And that means that we can experience sadness and still feel safe. It will move through you if you sit with it. In fact, they say on average, most emotions don't last more than 90 seconds, unless, of course, you cling to the story or try to control it or resist what is. Vibration isn't about faking it. Yes, high vibes are necessary to manifest, but if you bypass the emotions, they will block your flow. No mask of fake joy will override any stuck energy. And it all comes back to the body. The body keeps the score. It knows what you're hiding. It knows what you refuse to look at and to feel, and it'll keep it for a later date when you're ready because it loves you so much. The best news is that when you're ready, it will show you what your mind can't find. The brain is often the last to know. The body is wise, and it will lead you home to peace, joy, and freedom. This all must come through the embodiment of authenticity. We must be honest with ourselves and allow those emotions to move through us so they can finally complete their cycle and release. The body is wise, and it will help you heal if you learn how to listen. And when you're listening, it will bring to you all of the guidance that you need. Emotions are energy in motion. That means they must move. Otherwise, you have an energetic blockage, not just in the emotional body, but physically in your physical body. This is kind of like learning how to practice emotional hygiene. You got to remove all of that stagnant energy. We have to learn how to flush it out before we can make space for new life. And when you finally start to heal, you'll notice that there's not a big emotional charge around these issues anymore. The body no longer contracts. You feel light, expansive, unburdened, whole again. That feeling of coming home. Yes, you might need a season of rest. Let your body heal. Let yourself integrate. Take care of yourself as you move through some of those big emotions. But the shift will come when you wake up and you say, enough is enough. I've processed enough. I'm done. That I'm done moment, that's your breakthrough. That's when you say, I'm moving into divinely inspired action right now. But you're going to do it from a place of flow and alignment, because the more in tune you become with your body, the more easy it is to feel when you are out of alignment or when something is not for you. You will now lead from the wisdom of the body, and you become undeniably aware of truth, and you walk in such clarity that it can withstand any storm. In fact, the peace that passes all understanding feels like standing in the eye of the storm. While all of the chaos of the world around you swirls and swirls, you stand firm, unshakable in your soft power. This is certainty beyond logic. This is the magnetism that co-creates with the creator of the universe. This is where you take action from aligned truth. in your body. There is no doubt. There is no worry. There is no fear. That certainty tells you, I know it is already done. I know because my Creator has assured it and promised it. And all of that is made possible by coming home to yourself, reuniting with your body. So stop looking outside of yourself. Stop allowing the world to pull you out. Your power is within. Stop thinking that you need to think your way there. The key is you, your body, your home. Trust yourself and love yourself enough to listen. It changes everything. And if your heart truly knows that what you seek isn't out there, and you're ready to stop hustling and searching for answers that only your body can reveal, you're tired of struggling on that hamster wheel of healing perpetually, then I invite you into the More Than Enough Mastermind. It is a sacred space for those who are ready to reconnect with the body, heal those wounds that block your abundance, and become a clear channel for divine guidance, direction, flow, and ease. And in this space, we will dissolve struggle, ego control, and put to bed that survival mode. Instead of pushing, we rise into soft power, the kind that magnetizes, not manipulates. You are not meant to force your dreams. You are meant to co-create from a place of wholeness and clarity. And your body is the key. You are the vessel, and it is time to come home to more than enough. If you need clarity on what it looks like to step into your soft power and magnetize your dreams, make sure you check out this recent video that I created for you. I love you, my friends. I will see you on the other side.